today it's a very controversial. I don't know if that word fits in the topic that I'm on right now, but it's really like big topic, as you guys can see in the title. Before I get into the topic, I just want to mention the fact that God showed me like a vision, and in that vision He just showed me like the people that I used to be around, like people that used to know me. They didn't fully believe. They don't fully believe this person that I am coming out and testifying about from who I used to be. God showed me that. And to be quite frank, to be quite blunt, when God showed me this, I can't tell you or not if sharing this part of my testimony is God's will. But I know that in my zeal, that in what God has asked me to do, is to share my testimony. So I'm just taking a step of faith, with sharing this part, this interesting, and so God was showing me that, because I got involved at the age, I got affiliated at the age of 18. As soon as I graduated high school, I picked my crew. Everybody know, Iris boys, people knew, that was my crew. So from there, it was like the people that knew me in high school. So the people that knew me prior to me being 18, and the people that knew me after I had picked a crew, but like weren't like in my life as much, but like they knew me. Those are the people that God had kind of shown me like they're not fully believing. And I promise not to make this channel about proving people wrong and doing this and doing that. This channel in the year of 2025, most of the content that is going to be posted on this YouTube channel is going to be evangelism video. Who God has come to be an evangelist, a bold evangelist. And I promise, like I made the promise to the Lord, these videos are coming, and that's what is more or so are gonna be more, posted on this channel. But for today, this is the topic that we're on. So when God showed me that vision about like the people that didn't believe fully who I used to be, or who I claimed to I used to be, it was kind of funny, because like I was like, God, this is who you're using as an example to not believe who I was. This is I just want to say the person that God used to show me that people are not believing. It was that person was kind of funny, and it was crazy to me. It was crazy. It's like not to call people names, but like it's like kind of nerds. You know what I mean? Like fuck. Like imagine you're living like the worst of the lifestyle, and he's living like the nerdiest of the. It's like, bro, you. Anyways. So yeah, as you see in the title, I just want to speak today about what God's saving me from a shootout that I got myself into at the age of 19. And obviously, like, I'm gonna give as much details as I can without giving too much details. And obviously the goal here is to still enlighten who God saved. You guys understand? Like, just fully who God saved, right? Because like who I was, if for the people that may not know, the lifestyle that I used to be in, there's a lot of fakes, and there's a lot of pretenders, and there's a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of people want to do it for the, I don't know, for the lifestyle, nowadays there's rappers that just want to pretend that they're living. but I can only speak for me. I know me that my heart was really in it. What I'm saying by that is that, and I was involved, but my heart was not always fully in it. Like I was in it for the glamorous lifestyle, for the being lazy, selling drugs and making money by just driving around, eating food, smoking weed. You know, the lazy lifestyle. You know, being with the woman. You know, like staying up late. This is just a lifestyle. You know, but when I was wholeheartedly in it, I can honestly say was after my parents' house got targeted in a shooting. That's like the pivotal moment where the devil actually used to break my heart, to lead me into a space of mind where like I'm actually able now to say that if I can and have to take somebody's life, I'm able to do it. And that's like wholeheartedly who I used to be. And if I'm lying, I'm not lying to the viewers, I'm lying to God, okay? So that's between me and God. But I just want to say that a lot of people that are living that lifestyle, it's not that. It's not that. It's fake, you know? They don't. A lot of people are in that state, but a lot of people don't get to that state. A lot of people just like, you know, it's pretend. It's like, you know, when it gets real, you know. So yeah, it's just to enlighten the person that God saved. It's not the guy that was pretending. It's really the guy that God saved me from killing somebody, literally. Because like I said in my testimony, that was the last thing that was done that was left on my quote unquote resume in the streets, right? I had done everything else. That was the last thing left. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna share what I can share. So I'll take you guys back to the year of 2016. So in 2016, I'm gonna share what I can share. In 2016, I found myself with a group of guys. Okay, this group of guys is basically like two high school friends, and I was surrounded with their friends. So two high school friends and their friends, and I'm 19 at this point. I'm trying not to give too much information because you never know. But I'm 19 at this point, and two groups of guys, and two friends that I knew in high school, and the other people around me is like their friends basically. And this is not my crew. You understand? This is not my West Side Boys crew. This is my East Side Boys crew. So this is not my own crew, but it's like it's friends, you know, that are in the lifestyle also, you know. And so I found myself hanging around with them that day, and I remember, this is what I remember. We were in a car, okay, and 5 of us. Okay, I'm gonna name names in a couple of seconds. So what had happened was that I don't know if it's 2015 or 2016, but I can say that that year it was that day, actually the day that this event happened, it was like one of the most violent day in recent history, because I remember that in that day, in that 24-hour span, there was 4 shootings in 24 hours, and one of the shootings is one of which like I was involved in. And so to make a long story short, guys, it was 5 of us. I remember somebody had just passed away. If I give too much details on that incident, then it gives it away for like the day and all of that. What I'm like, it gives it away, you know. Anyway, somebody had passed away, somebody prominent, so a rapper had passed away, and it had the city shooken up because like it was his friend that had, you know, so, or quote unquote friend. So I remember being with my boys, and there was an older guy, okay? He was already in his 30s, and with no shame, with no, you know, I have to call it like it is. The guy was like a waste. I have to call it like it is, you know? What I mean by that, it was like, the man is older than all of us. He has nothing to show for it. He's just wasting time. He just loves being on drugs. He doesn't indulge in anything productive, even in the lifestyle. You know, he doesn't indulge in anything productive, any plans for the future, put money away, none of that. He was just around, and what did he say? He's like, oh, I remember that day. I remember that morning. He's like, yo, so and so died. We have to do something. You know, he was man, crazy. He was like, yeah, it's our turn to do something. And this has not, the person that had passed away has nothing to do with us. It was just like he man, I don't want to keep calling him names. I said what I said about him, but he was just like, he used to just love indulging in things that were like not productive, not you know what I mean? So I remember him saying that, and all of us were just laughing. I remember it's that morning. So what we do was this. It was a car. I can't see the car either. All this is on the news. It's on the news, so I can't see the car either. It was 5. I'm gonna say 2 names, okay? So the driver, the guy that was saying all that, we need to do something. It was the driver. The passenger guy was my cousin's best friend. My cousin's best friend, some Arab guy. My cousin's best friend, some Arab guy. He was the passenger, you know. My cousin at the time was in jail for like 5 years when this happened, you know. The Arab guy that ended up being a rat. If you don't know what it is what it is. He was in the passenger. So in the backseat, there's 3 guys. There's me, and in the backseat, you know what God showed me? That everybody in the back. So, anyways, let me just say this. There's me. There's some kid named Wagwan that passed away, unfortunately. And there's also somebody else. No, I can only say one name. So there's me, and there's Wagwan that passed away. For the people that are connected in the city, Wagwan was a little kid. At the time, he could have been none older than 15. He's a little boy, 16, something like that, you know. A little kid. He passed away a couple of years later, and unfortunately. And the other guy that was like not in the car, but the car belonged to, was somebody that passed away also in jail. He ended up getting beat up to death, you know. Yeah, that's all I can say. So I remember we were in this area. I can't say the area either. So basically that morning when we all got in the car, it was like I knew what was going to, like, it's not like we were getting in a car to go do something, but it's like, you know, sometimes what you put out, the energy you put out is the energy you receive. Like it's like we wanted to go harm somebody. We wanted to catch somebody to go harm them, unfortunately. And it's like we were getting ready that day. We were getting ready to go harm somebody, but without actually like going to look. We were just like in the car. We were just gonna go eat. We were gonna go do some things, you know, go grab some stuff, go grab some drugs and this and that. So I remember when everybody got in the car, it was like I wanted to be on the outside. I wanted to be, because we're 5 in the sedan, you know. I wanted to be on the outside, in the driver, like in the back, like in the not in the middle, like closer to like at the window, you know, at the door. And I remember it's them telling me like, And this is, I'm not fully like engaged. Like I'm not fully like out there, you know. But I'm affiliated, as you guys can see. And I remember them telling me like, "Yo, get in the middle. If something happens, you're not gonna be the one to do it." And then I remember arguing with these guys like, "Why not? I'll do it." You understand? Like, okay, this thing is not on my resume, but I'll do it. I remember arguing with them. "Yeah, get in the middle." I'm like, "No, bro, I want to do it, whatever." And then like me, I'm a guy. I'm a humble guy, and I'm somebody that respects my elders. And these are people, except for the young boy, these are people that have been doing this longer than me. Doesn't really mean nothing. None of them have anything on their resume, but they have a little bit more experience than me. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll sit in the middle, but bro, don't act like, you know, like I was that guy. Like I wasn't the toughest guy. That's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't the toughest guy, but there's nobody that know me when I was living that lifestyle cannot say that can say that I was scared. I was that guy. As in, like, bro, when even if you don't want to believe, you have to believe the fact that when things went down and I was around, nobody was worried, you know, because like they know like this guy he's one of us, you understand? Anyways, so they ended up not letting me be the guy, you know, be the guy by the window. They let me. I was in the middle in the back seat. So long story short, we saw somebody that I don't know if they actually had problems with this kid or not, whatever. My friend that was on the right side of me, by the car door, he had the gun and he was like, "Oh, should I do it? Should I do it?" He was asking for permission. Asking for permission. Should I do it? Should I do it? And then the front side of the car said, "Give him the ghost." So he emptied the clip on the guy's car, you know, because it was like in traffic, and by the grace of God, the target didn't get hurt. Imagine we're side to side in traffic. We're like this, red light, we're like this, we see each other, and then the guy in the back seat opens fires, and then the guy doesn't get touched. That just shows you like I could have done this. Not only that, also that his heart wasn't actually to take away the kid's life, you know, because like it's a red light. If your intentions are really that, you know, we understand that you can open the door. Literally, it's a red light. You can open the door and do what you gotta do, you know. But the fact that we're this close to each other at a red light, and you're shooting at him, and you're not even hitting once, it speaks for itself. Your intentions were not there, you know. Your intentions to actually harm were not there, you know. So that was the first shootout. God saved me from it. The reason why I'm saying that is because I could have been the one to shoot, and it wasn't me. And not only that we did not get caught, but nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. So yeah, I feel like that was part of like God, like his hand in my life, because like when you look at the people that were involved, there's two that passed away. There's two that passed away. You understand? Like on our side, like the people, like the guy that owned the car, he wasn't in the car with us that day. He passed away. The little kid, the youngest one in the car, passed away. And it's just a testament to like where God pulled me out of, you know. And this is stories that me, I always understood like the street life. Like, you may know me from high school and never heard about this story. It doesn't mean it's not true. You know, you can fact check me. For the people that know, I can't really say much, but for the people that know, you can fact check me. You know, like, I mean, that's all I can say. I can't really say much, you know, but that's all I can say. And all that to say that even recently, like I spoke to a friend that is a good friend of mine from high school, and he told me, yo, Eric, you know that story that you told me about you beating up that white guy in jail? Well, I have, like, you know, your homies that you used to be homies with, and that my friend is still homies with, they don't believe you. I laughed because, like, from all the stories that I have in jail, me beating up that little white guy is the least of it. And I don't want to get in details of that, you know. Like, I did things in jail that people don't do. I went to sections in jail where you're not good in that section. Like, you have ops, quote unquote. And I just went there to find one person to prove a point. I did that. I really did that. I did that. And believe me or not believe me, I'm not even trying to, you know, like, I wouldn't be lying to you guys listening. I actually be lying to God. I'm actually not trying to convince anybody. I'm actually just trying to shine light in the area of, like, who I actually used to be. God actually saved somebody that was actually murderous. I was actually murderous. Like, like I said in the beginning of this video, in my other testimony, when my parents' houses got targeted, and the people that did it, they knew where to find me. I was not living at my parents' house no more. I was in the West End. They knew where to find me. They knew where to find me, but they went to my parents' house. That's when that's the event that the devil used to make my heart as cold as possible. Like, there was nothing left, you know, like, you know what I mean? That's just my reality. For the people that believe it, believe it. For the people that don't. But I know that I'm called to shine a light into who I used to be. And that's really who I used to be. Somebody that was murderous. Somebody that had a point to prove. Somebody that was angry at the situation that the enemy had developed in my life. Somebody that had a chip on his shoulder. Somebody, I had something to prove. You know, I'm not like one of them. I'm like one of them, basically, you know. And I'm glad that it didn't go as bad as it could have went, you know. I'm just glad, because, like, even just to I'm gonna end it with this. Even, like, when you look at my testimony and you see, like, my friends were, like, they were targeting me to be, like, they were labeling me something I was not. Even when you go back into, like, the lifestyle that I lived for that small amount of time, from 18 to 19, 18, 19, 18 I was around, 19 I was involved, to 24. When you look at that time in the streets, you realize one thing. I was around when a lot of things happened. I was around when a lot of things happened. I was around when people died. Not saying I was responsible, but I have, you know, I was affiliated to people, you know, like, I was around when the worst of the worst happened. And even if you want to say this or that about me, if I wasn't genuine of who I claim I was, I would have given up names. Even if it wasn't for a certain thing, even if it wasn't for this thing, it would have been for that thing. And the worst of the worst that I've seen, nobody really knows except for the people that was around me. This is why, if you know me in high school, if you know me in the world, you're seeing this video and you're like, is this true? It's true. I'm not, like, I was smart. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew. And I wasn't just gonna share this time. Why would I share this story with? For what? Sorry, for what? Understand? So, anyways, that's what I wanted to share. This is just a testimony. I promise that the content coming up is gonna be more uplifting. I just wanted to shine light on, like, who I really was. I really, regardless of what you guys hear, I was really, like, so many things I can say. I know I know a little kid that just got shot up, and he just lost his brother or his cousin recently in Ottawa, recently, where I'm from. And I'm not gonna add more, but I'm just gonna say that I know that kid is a pretender, and I pray for that kid. He's a rapper, so he's portraying a lifestyle that is not really him. I know that kid. I know the kid. I went to school with him. I know him very well, and I feel like that's worse than actually the guy that has his full heart willing to harm before being harmed. You just doing it for an image is even worse, because you're gonna die just for an image, you know. You're on you're not even on defense, because you're not even playing defense. You're just pretending. And I pray for that kid. I pray that the worst doesn't happen to him. It happened very recent. It's a small city. If you know who most people, if you're from the city, you know who I'm talking about. Man, the kid is man. Anyways, that's what I had to share, guys. If God did it for me, He can do it for anybody. I was really God really saved me from a path of destruction. I could have died or went to jail for a long time. And even something people don't know, I could have got deported, because although I was here for a long time, I'm only a citizen. I'm not a resident. No, sorry. I'm only a resident. I'm not a citizen. So all that, I was gambling, deportation, and my heart was still full in it. So take it for what it is, you know. And I hope this blessed you. And yeah.